And a very good Thursday to you. I'm FOX54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Dressman. A little cooler this afternoon thanks to a combination of scattered showers and thunderstorms and a little bit of cloud cover. We started the day with a little bit of cloud cover, and that's important because we started the day with the cloud cover. We really didn't get to warm up as much through the first half of the afternoon, and in general, that kind of prevented our temperatures from climbing all that much. We're still talking about some scattered showers and thunderstorms this evening. Not everyone, though. We're mostly dry across northwest Alabama, Lauderdale, Colbert, down into Franklin County. Maybe a little bit of light rain showing up in southern Franklin County. We're dry across much of the I-65 corridor, up across southern Middle Tennessee, Limestone County, down into much of Morgan County. It's not until we get down into Coleman County that we are talking about a little bit of rain across I-65. And then we're talking about a little bit of rain across southern Madison County, the eastern portions of Morgan County, and also northern Coleman County, northeastern Coleman County. I guess I should be a little more specific. And then we're also talking about a little bit of light rain in Jackson County, both southern Jackson County and up into northern Jackson County. That activity, though, quickly beginning to push its way into northwest Georgia. We're also talking about a fair amount of precipitation across Marshall County. Now, that activity going to be relatively light in nature. Gunnersville down into Albertville. That activity is just relatively light. We are, however, talking about some stronger thunderstorms in DeKalb County, just to the south of Fort Payne, just to the south of Rainsville, Fife. We're talking about some pockets of heavier rain, frequent thunder and lightning. Cedar Bluff beginning to see some pockets of heavier rain, maybe some increased wind gusts a little bit. Looks like in general this activity has been sliding to the south, and maybe it's even beginning to weaken a little bit. I've noticed a bit of a weakening trend here over the last 10 or 15 minutes. Geraldine back down into Crossville, though, those folks still talking about some pockets of heavier rain. We're also talking about frequent thunder and lightning. These storms have had a history of producing a little bit of hail. I don't necessarily think that that's the case at this point because, like I said, it looks like this storm has weakened a little bit over the last 10 or 15 minutes, give or take, and it looks like it's probably going to continue to weaken as it drops its way to the south. Beginning to dry out in Sylvania. We're beginning to dry out in Valley Head, where we saw some heavier precipitation there over the last 15 or 20 minutes, but now that activity beginning to come to an end. Showers and thunderstorms are going to remain possible over the next couple of hours, but then in general, they should begin to fizzle out as we head into the overnight. But I'm not going to completely eliminate the opportunity for rain late tonight, early tomorrow morning, just because we continue to watch this cold front. Cold front currently pushing its way through North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee, and it's going to be somewhat of a slow mover. It's going to take its time getting through the Tennessee Valley. It'll finally be completely out of here as we head into the later part of Friday morning and then early into Friday afternoon. And as long as this cold front is hanging out, we're going to continue to watch for the opportunity for some scattered showers and thunderstorms. The good news here is that we're not really talking about the threat for any severe weather. I know we had a severe thunderstorm warning in effect a little while ago, or earlier this afternoon, I guess I should say at this point, for a small portion of Coleman County. But that was about it. Here's Futurecast as we head into the lunch hour. I think you're also going to notice more cloud cover across the Tennessee Valley, very similar to what we saw today. Yes, we're going to get to enjoy a little bit of sunshine, but in general, I also think there's going to be a little more cloud cover across the area. We're also going to continue to talk about the chance for some isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. It's almost everything you would expect in early August as far as the opportunity for rain is concerned. We hold on to that opportunity for rain as we head into the heart of Friday afternoon, and then even as we head into the early part of Friday evening. Now, that activity is going to come to an end as we head into the overnight, early into your Saturday morning. But then once we get to the middle part of Saturday morning, once again, we're talking about a fair amount of cloud cover across the Tennessee Valley, a partly sunny or even a mostly cloudy sky. So if you were planning to get to the pool early on Saturday morning, at least as of right now, if you were planning to get to the pool, I would hold off on that a little bit. You're not going to get much as far as the way of a suntan is concerned, just because we're going to be talking about that mostly cloudy sky. Now, the cloud cover should break up a little bit as we head into Saturday afternoon, but in general, I think Saturday could potentially be a partly sunny to mostly cloudy afternoon, just kind of in general, talking about a bit of a lack of sunshine as we head into the front half of the weekend. But the entire day won't be cloudy, and we will get to see a little bit of sunshine. It'll just be somewhat hard to come by. Holding on to the opportunity for rain as well, but that's almost kind of a secondary thing. Again, it's going to be early August at this point, and you would expect a little bit of rain to stay in the forecast. Even Saturday night, early into Sunday morning, maybe we're talking about a little bit of rain. Live look out over into DeKalb County this evening. This is in Rainsville, where it does look like they are beginning to dry out. Still a little bit of rain off of the horizon there. We're obviously talking about the cloudy sky, but the rain not coming down near as heavy as it was over the last 20 or 25 minutes. I was showing you the radar just a couple of seconds ago. That kind of matches what we're seeing here. Whatever rain is falling is going to be relatively light in nature. Live look out over the parkway, much different scene compared to what we were talking about 24 hours ago. Remember 24 hours ago, they were to bumper on the northbound part of the parkway. You couldn't even get on the parkway from the access road. Police officers were blocking that, but a much different scene this evening. Now we are talking about a cloudy sky over the city of Huntsville, but otherwise traffic is moving smoothly and we're not really talking about any precipitation here across the Huntsville metro area. I say precipitation like there's some sort of wild chance that it's going to snow. And that's obviously, that's not going to be a thing. You know, the forecast is never a guarantee. I'm always really confident in my forecast, but it's never a guarantee. The one thing that is a guarantee, it's not going to snow tonight. It's not going to snow tomorrow. It's not going to snow any day in the month of August. We were, however, cooler today compared to every other day this week. We saw 92 at the Huntsville International Airport, Athens, Decatur, Fayetteville up in southern Middle Tennessee, a little bit warmer over in northwest Alabama, but they're always warmer than everybody else. Scottsboro and Fort Payne saw highs this afternoon of 91. That high temperature over in Florence today was 96 degrees. How does this compare to the rest of the week? Well, chilly compared to the rest of the week. We saw 98 on Monday, we saw 99 degrees on Tuesday, we saw 97 on Wednesday, and went from 97 straight to 92. That's average for this time of year. And it looks like we're going to end the month of July relatively above average. But really, the only extremely hot week we've had in the month of July was this week. 98, 99, 97. Those are the warmest days we've seen so far this month. We had some 95s, some 96s, other days in the month of July, but you kind of expect those 95s and 96s in the month of July. The only extreme heat we had was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week. But we can now put that behind us. Is it going to come to an end completely? No, absolutely not. If you've lived here long enough, you know that it's still going to be plenty hot as we head into August, and then eventually as we head into September, depending on the year we're having. Could still be extremely hot as we head into October. 81 feels like 90 right now in Huntsville. 77 feels like 80 in Coleman, where they have seen a little bit of rain. 77 feels like 89 in Scottsboro. Yeah, it's still humid. They're a little bit cooler thanks to the rain cool there, but it's still humid. 84 feels like 101 over in Florence. 80 feels like 94 in Russellville. 88 feels like 97 in Pulaski. 82 feels like 95 in Fayetteville. Up across southern Middle Tennessee, we'll mention Athens as well. 82 feels like 88 degrees right now in Athens. If you would like to spend a little bit of time outside, we are going to be cooler tonight compared to the other nights, but again, it is still going to be humid, and again, we're maintaining the opportunity for just a little bit of rain. 85 at 6, 83 at 7, 80 by 8, 78 degrees by the time we get to 9 o'clock. A change of scenery across the Tennessee Valley. That's what we're talking about as we head into your Friday. Kind of already hinted at this. You know, we were talking about the cold front here just now. We were talking about the cold front during Fox 54 News at 5:30, bringing a real change of scenery to the Tennessee Valley. And you're going to notice it as we head into your Friday, and then especially as we head into the weekend. Temperatures are not only going to be below average, but they're going to be well below average. Think about it. Temperatures are going to be below average. There's going to be a little more cloud cover, which means we don't get as much sunshine, which means temperatures don't climb all that much. I'll show you what I mean in the 7-day forecast here in just a second. A rain chance as we head into the overnight. Otherwise, temperatures drop into the low and mid 70s. I've got a low right around 73 degrees, which is pretty seasonal. If you'd like to work on your golf game tomorrow afternoon, first and foremost, you should teach me how to golf. I watched Happy Gilmore 2, and it taught me nothing. I have a feeling you're not actually supposed to use a hockey stick when golfing. Fantastic movie, by the way. Netflix doesn't pay me to say that. It was just a really great movie. I saw a cameo, or not a cameo count, I guess. I was watching TikTok and somebody counted all of the cameos, and apparently there's like 75 different cameos